Hello there. Today we're going to be looking at some of the signings I think my team, Bournemouth, should make. So, what I have identified for the signings is a goalkeeper, a left back, a centre half, a winger, and maybe a midfielder. A midfielder would be a cherry on top. Goalkeeper, obviously, the loan of Keperens. Centre half, Dino's left. Left back, it looks almost certain Milos Kerkez is going to leave. And winger, I think we're going to shift on one of Brooks, Tav, or Cine. So, with all that said, I'm going to start looking at possible transfer targets. Starting off with goalkeepers, I've got three options. I'm going to be using Talk Cherries AFCB or Talk Bournemouth on Twitter. For the rumours I'm using, I will also suggest people who haven't been rumoured to the club. But for goalkeepers, I don't think we have to look beyond the three rumours we have. So starting off with goalkeepers, Garcia from Espanyol. I'll be honest, he's probably the highest rated by the footballing world. He's the one I know least about. Kelleher, 1 year remaining on his deal, will probably go this summer. Like, again, a good signing if the money's right, sure. And my pick for goalkeeper would be just Kepa. Apparently, he's got like a £5 million release clause. He's grown into the season massively, and I think with goalkeepers, if you've got a decent, like, he is just a decent goalkeeper. He's 5 million. Just get him. I understand the wages will probably be high, although there's no chance he doesn't take a pay cut. If possible, I mean, Garcia seems to be really highly rated by a lot of good football clubs and a lot of people in football I respect. So I wouldn't mind that as a signing. Again, same thing with Kelleher. I mean, I've watched it with my own eyes. He's a good goalkeeper. Also, just a little thing, guys. Thought I'd mention it here. I'm trying to get to 100 subs by the beginning of the season. If you could just hit that button if you're enjoying. If you're not, then don't. Yeah, thanks. Enjoy the rest of the vid. Okay, so for left back, there's quite a few rumours floating about, but there's two I'm going to talk about. Adrian Tuffert, a left back out of Rennes. I think out of all the rumours, looking through them, doing the very limited research I can with some of these players, I think he's the best of what I've seen. If we go over and look at his FB ref, we can see here he's kind of a bit average at everything, except here, progressive passes received, 95th percentile, which means he's played more as a wing back at Rennes, is basically me, or he's like an outlet for long balls. It means one of those two things. Obviously, I'm not going to lie to you. I watch minimal French football, so I'm not entirely sure on what the truth is. But he's a good age. He looks like a good player, and if the fee was reasonable, I'm more than happy with that. Also, contract up in a year, so you'd imagine he'd be able to be got for a decent fee. The TV rights in France are really struggling, so I think this would be a sensible addition. Next up, Kyle Walker-Peters. I've got up his stats for the 21-22 season because it's the last time he played in a Premier League side, which wasn't complete dog shit. Not naturally a left back, but he played there for a whole season when Livramento came through. I think when I've watched him, I've probably watched him play at left back more than I've watched him play at right back. This year, I mean, he's coming off a poor year, but the year previous, he was absolutely, like, he was way too good for the Championship, and he's available on a free transfer. So I don't think you prioritise someone like Kyle Walker-Peters, but if you can't get a reasonable fee for some of those better players, this is like a nice fail safe where, like, you're getting an average Premier League left back and you're getting him for free. Like, there's, as long as you're not having to commit to like a way too long wage, and obviously he's got some availability issues. He's not. He's not going to play like all 38 games. He's not going to start all of them. But then you have Julius Soler in the squad who can play there. Adam Smith can play left back. Max Aarons, if he was to be brought back to the club after his loan, has played left back before. So you've got enough there to cover left back where your minutes issues wouldn't be too big a worry. And I think just to get a decent Premier League performer who will presumably already be quite local, which is, like, as weird as it sounds, is quite a big factor when players move. He might not have to move house, which is often like I think an overlooked part of transfers. But I do think it actually applies here and makes him more gettable. Now, looking at centre backs, the biggest one that has been rumoured is Nathan Zizi or Zeze. I'm not quite sure how to say it. 19-year-old centre half coming out the French league, and to be honest, I've kind of looked into him a bit, he kind of just looks like an average centre half who happens to be now getting significant minutes really young. Like here, you were completely buying a player for the future. My suggestion, and someone who hasn't been rumoured, is CJ Egan Riley. Just a really good centre half this year. Played in Scott Parker. Really good Burnley defence. Available on a free this summer, but apparently he's already got some other offers, especially from France. Apparently that's quite close. But if you were able to sneak in and get this over the line, I think on a free transfer, only 22 years old still, I think that's like by far the best value you could get in this market. Because I mean, he's just been brilliant, and you've got to remember as well, you're getting someone to hold bench to Senesi and Zabani to begin with. Because I believe no matter unless you got like like you'd have to get a top centre half in for them to instantly overtake one of those two, because that's already like an established partnership we know works. But CJ Egan Riley, if you can nip in there for a reasonable like signing on fee and wages, that is one I'd really pursue. Moving on to the wingers, we've got Igor Paixo from the Dutch league, plays for Feyenoord. And looking at him, he's just someone who's way too good for the Dutch league. In the league, put up 26 goal contributions. Again, what is it? With like a lot of these rumoured players, he's someone I don't particularly know about. I'd be happy enough with him. But for my suggestion, I've gone for Evan Gussand even. And I think he's playing in a better league than the Dutch league, albeit it's still the French league. He's a tad young. He's about a year younger, or 2 years even. He's about a year younger, and this is someone I've actually watched a bit, as opposed to Igor, and I've been fairly impressed when I've watched him. And I really think currently the French league is a really good league to buy out of, just because the revenues there. If you don't know the whole debacle they've had with their TV deals, I'd recommend looking into it. It's quite interesting. But basically, they don't have a lot of the money they thought they were going to have. So a lot of clubs are now a lot more open to selling than they would have been. I think you're probably looking at about 30 million euro for this guy. And this is someone I'd be really excited to see. And then finally, for a midfielder, there's Andre Santos. It's reported by Team Talk, so there's probably nothing to this, but he's had a tremendous year at Strasbourg, who just missed out on Europe, I believe, on the last day. Managed by Liam Rosinia, if you remember him from Hull and Derby. And I think if that was possible, it's a sensible signing. But I also want to suggest someone who's a bit of a silly option, Cherky. Basically, his numbers look like a superstar. I know it's the French league. Bournemouth probably can't get him, but this is someone not even 22 years old yet. I'd be because a lot of big clubs have clearly don't want to take a punt on him by the looks of things. I mean, he was very close to joining Fulham, I think, a year ago. To be honest, I don't think this is probably possible, but I think Bournemouth can afford the deal. So I think Bournemouth, it's about a 40 million euro asking price. So yeah, this is my final suggestion for the video. Just please, try and do that. I mean, God, I look like I'm in heaven a bit. Like over here, it's just the sun's coming through so much. It's just like, whoa. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Those would be my suggestions for Bournemouth this summer. Again, the Twitter for Talk Cherries is linked below, because a lot of this is just, it would have taken a lot longer to get together the rumours if it wasn't for them. Trying to hit 100 subs by the beginning of next season, as mentioned already. So if you can help me out, please and thank you. And yeah, thank you for watching.